Hey there, friendlies. How's up? I hope you can hear me. Sorry, I'm late. I fell all the way asleep putting the squeakling to sleep, and her sister did not realize it was Tuesday. So I woke up randomly, and here I am. So who is kicking back with me? I'm guessing probably nobody yet. Oh, no, there's Christy. Hey there. How's it going? Christy, who is a channel hero, by the way. Well, yeah, I got like zero sleep last night, so I'm really tired. I had the most wicked case of insomnia. Like I finally went to sleep at like 4:30 this morning. So I'm not at my best, but we're gonna see how it goes. So I did, I think, fix the size of the scrolling chat. Does that look big enough for you folks? If not, I can play with it a bit more. So who's with me? Yes, I said that we have Christy, who is a channel hero, and we got Country Boy, who's a channel hero and a channel mod. Now, yeah, I still have the same thing with the little icons are showing up in the scrolling text and obviously in the YouTube chat, but not in the chat in the app. So I'll just keep an eye on the YouTube for the icons and all that stuff. Hey, we got Jim's here already. Holy crap. Mr. SV Raven Flintlock. Hold on. Oh, there you go. Hopping in the truck to head home, and a few catch y'all then. All right. Drive safe. Like I haven't even like made a new tea for the live stream or anything. I sort of woke up and rushed down here. Hike with Mike in the house. How are you doing, Mr. Mike? I hope the weather is treating you safe down there. Treating you well. I mean, excuse me. Ugh. So, what do you guys think of the size of the chat scroll now? Does that look all right to you? It looks a lot better to me, and I think I fixed the other notice as well that sort of pops up. Oops, bing. But we're not gonna test that because I'm not gonna tell people to start dropping me tips just to test that out. I'm pretty sure I got it fixed. Yes, it's readable now, says Christy. Okay, move the chat. So Russell says to move the chat so it covers my face. So move it over like just a bit more, like around there. Center it, right? Center it right in the middle there. I can do that. I mean, I can't do it while I'm live, so I'll fix it later on when we're done here. Shawnee says hi. How you doing, Shawnee? Shawnee is a channel hero. Russell, by the way, is also a channel hero, and I believe a channel mod. Yes. Shawnee. Okay, that's an interesting. Hold on. Shawnee doesn't like having the chat scroll on screen because she's on the phone, so she doesn't need it. That's interesting. I hadn't thought of that. In fact, let me see if I can't see. Shut up. Let me see if I can't see my own damn self here. Expedia members get member prices and rewards for I'm getting an ad on my phone, but not on the. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting two ads. I just want to see how it looks on my phone. I'm getting two ads. I just want to see how it looks on my phone. Okay, so it's very small on the phone. It's not terrible though, but it is very small. It's I agree that it's useless on the phone for sure. Hold on. So I'm gonna hide that. Hold on. Mark is beginning to think, no, I fell asleep while putting a squeak to bed because I am wickedly tired. like crazy tired. I'm on like 2 hours of sleep, and hating it. And I don't like it when I have like when that insomnia hits, and I've got like 2 hours of sleep. I've got like headaches, nausea. It's a bad scene. I don't know why the hell I couldn't sleep last night, but anyways, it's okay. We're gonna go for as long as we can here. So I didn't run down here at 8:30 to set up, so I don't have my notes and my news pieces or anything. I don't have a specific reading for tonight, and I didn't have one really planned. I wanted to sort of look at this. So this is the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. I'll tell you about it in a minute. I just want to sort of interact a little bit more first. Just taking a look here, trying to catch up. Countryway is saying, I'm sure the scroll would be fine if my monitor was bigger than 15 feet. I think you might mean 15 inches there. Shawnee is saying it's poll time. Okay, you know what? No problem. I have no problem doing that. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Should I remove the chat scroll, I guess? Oh my snap, I'm having a hard time wording this. Should I remove the what's it called? The scrolling, the chat scroll from the screen? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? I'm asking if I should remove this chat scroll right here, okay? Let me know. Because, I mean, obviously, for those of you who are watching on a phone, I just had it there because I thought it was a nice little, like, on-screen interaction or dynamic element. So I'll leave that open for... I mean, it's my... That's the thing about starting late. It's already after 9:30. I'll leave that open until 10, okay? Boom, 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 boom. So yes, Shawnee, I've made that poll. Christy doesn't need it either because you're on a laptop and you see it fine. Shawnee says, thanks for giving up sleep for us. Just kidding. Just taking a look. Yes, Shawnee, I'm gonna do like a quick quasi reading from the book, but it's not like, you know. Oh my snap! There's Honeybee. How you doing? So let me actually put a bookmark where I wanted to. Just a funny little book. No, it's feet. You're going blind. 15-foot screen isn't. It sounds like an expensive screen, unless you've got one of those projectors or a blank wall. And now Russell's saying hi to everyone. Although I might just be late already. Russell says I should have put an I don't care option. Well, I guess if you don't care, that's true. Maybe just don't vote, or just sort of. Oh, I didn't think of it. Okay, I just didn't think of it. Oh, Shawnee says, well, I did figure out how to use the laptop with my YouTube account, so I could switch to that. Doesn't sound like it was. I mean, why'd you have to figure that out? What are you having some technical issues, technical difficulties? Honeybee lurks for a small amount of time. You have a red eye for your partner, waking up at 3:35 a.m. Yikes. Oh, I hate that. I really do not like waking up super early. Hey, there's Destiny. Hello, y'all. How you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna be yawning a lot. So, Self said you checked earlier. Now you're late. Well, I was late too. I was 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes late. So I'm not gonna hold it against you. Russell says, always think about your pull before it gets up. Oh, I think I got. Never mind. Mark says, have you seen the Ozark trail knife that Walmart has that looks like a whole lot like a Benchmade mini bug out? It's D2 steel and it was a whopping $9.97 USD. No, I haven't seen that. I have not seen that. I'm guessing they probably don't have that at the Canadian Walmart, or definitely not for that kind of price. Did you buy it, Mark? Do you have one? That kind of price, it seems too good to be true. Oh, Shawnee didn't know her password. Fair enough. So, Shawnee, are you the I don't care option as well then? Okay. Destiny likes the side chat with the orange. Yeah, I just added it so that I could be an absolute copycat of Russell, of course, right? Yeah, definitely the laptop screen is going to be better than a phone screen for that chat. Does it need to hold on, everyone, stop the presses. Shawnee bought a new tent. What'd you get? God, I still have to buy a new tent. I told you, like, I was going to throw away my old tent. Now I have thrown it away. I got to replace that. Got to get a new tent. I mean, I have a fabulous tent, but it's a 2-person, right? I bought Camille her own little tent, but it's a 2-person. So if I'm going camping with both the girls, I still need to have the bigger tent. So, like, oh, I have to buy a tent. No, I do have to buy another tent for family camping with. And family camping it just means me and the 2 girls. You know, when the 4 of us go, we do the glamping thing at the those permanent tents that the national parks have up. Excuse me. Why is Christy saying hi now? I thought we'd already said hi to each other. Weird. Okay, I've suddenly got a lot of, like, the early chat came back in the why in my side chat here. Oh no. Okay, I'm just gonna try to skip and hope that I don't miss anything. Okay. Okay, a lot of people are asking Shawnee to tell us about the tent. Why did I get all that chat recycled? Mark did buy the knife. Nice. And how do you feel about the purchase? The $10 purchase. Is it a good knife? Sort of. Seth says he's biased towards removing the side chat because it's already overlaid on the Apple TV. Interesting. I did not know that. Hi, Grace. How you doing? How are things in Graceland? Graceland. Oh, okay. So Shawnee bought the Bass Pro Shops 10-person cabin tent. Was it expensive? I'm not going to ask you exactly what you paid because that's crass, but was it like an expensive tent? Oh, gosh. Sorry, guys. David is going to be here soon, just waiting for Pam's family to leave. Fair enough. I'm just trying to catch up here. Mark says to Destiny, so far, yes, it's very sharp. Don't ask me how I know. Oh, no. Rats. Sorry to hear it. Destiny's asking where Chris is. I haven't heard from him yet tonight. I don't know where he is. I mean, I started late, so I might have missed the window of opportunity. Hold on a second. I feel like I've just gotten... No, Shawnee hasn't set it up yet because it was the wind was 30 miles per hour one day, and now frost warning. So the weekend it'll be warmer. Yes, it's cold here too today and kind of windy, but but it's going to go up to 20. Oh yeah. So if you're using an Apple TV, like there's 2 scrolls there. Interesting. Good to know. Good to know. $220 at Cabela's. Is that... You're in the States, right? So that's at the Cabela's in the States. So 220 US. As long as I get 5 years at least out of it, I'll feel good about paying that. I think there's something big enough to stand up in and fit our cots. Yeah. Yeah. If you get 5 years out of a $200 tent, then or $220 tent, that's a win. I mean, our tent was like 180, I think, Canadian, and I got 16 years out of it. So I cannot complain about the tent. You know, it finally gave up the ghost after a decade and a half. So that was like $10 a year. Cannot complain. Yeah, it sounds like a pretty good price for that size tent. Like what you get at that price is like you don't get an ultra light tent. That's the thing, right? You get a heavier carry for sure. Hey, I just thought of something. How am I doing for thumbs ups here? Let me refresh the YouTube page. There we go. Country Boy says that Chris was posting pics from Barstow, California this morning. So, yeah. Actually, that's not too bad though. I mean, it's a tent, right? It's not a canoe, but so how many people are watching right now? We got 15 people watching and 10 thumbs ups. I guess I'm just too low energy tonight. Oh yeah, okay. You're in Minnesota, all right. Oh, yeah. So that's like a $300 tent in Canadian. Hike with Mike survived another hurricane. Yep. I'm glad to hear it. Sounded like a bad one. The chat has restarted again. That is really weird. Hold on. I'm just gonna... Yeah, Destiny said that's not as heavy as I thought it would be. Shawnee says, I'm a little worried. Let me just scroll down. Why did it restart again? And I told you guys that I was really happy with this app last week, but this is weirding me out. The fact that this side chat keeps restarting. I'm like, Okay. I'm a little worried I won't be able to set it up by myself like the last one. Yeah, even my comparatively little 6-person tent, I hate setting up on my own. It's really unwieldy. So I think that's a legit fear for sure. Mark says, I need to start searching for a hot tent. I stopped in Minnesota and bought a small wood stove from Northwest Fabrications en route to South Dakota a couple of weeks ago. I would love to buy a hot tent. I would love it. And a little stove. Um, I, and then I would love to, hit the woods in the winter and use the tent. But yeah, I love the idea. Mark, at the Canadian Outdoor Equipment Company, they sell the Esker, the 10-foot classic, or what the hell's it called? The classic 2. Like, there's a new and improved version of it. It's their 10-foot by 10 that I would love to get. They ain't cheap. I think it's like 1,600 Canadian. But I know someone who has one. It's either Mike Morton or is it Dennis from Canoe Help? I know someone who has one, and they're quite happy with it. Northwoods Fabrications, not Northwest. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm. Destiny is saying what we're all feeling. We're glad you made it through, Mike. That did not sound like a. It sounded like a bad storm for sure. Destiny is asking, do the hot tents come with the sheet you put under the wood stove, or is that a separate purchase? I believe that's a separate purchase. Just because I know a lot of people who don't have a sheet under their wood stove, they sort of prop it on something, or they put like. I'm trying to remember like what I've seen people do, but I don't think that they necessarily come with the sheet. Like what would it be, like not asbestos, obviously, but some sort of a fireproof sheet. I don't think they. I don't know. What do you guys think? Those of you, how many of you have a cold hot tent? Mark is asking what the footprint is for a 10-person tent. Yeah, that's an interesting question, because the way they measure these tents, it's not 10 people comfortably, it's 10 people jammed in there, right? So, and they're probably measuring what, like 6 across, and like 2 here and 2 there kind of thing, right? Like 6 across and then 2 up here and 2 down there, probably. Because the size, 2-person tent, 10-person tent, 6-person tent, they're cheating. That sizing it's BS. They should just give you the square footage or the square meterage, you know? Sean's going to say no, since it gets below 20 degrees Fahrenheit here. It's made out of 1,200 millimeter pure polyurethane coated polyester walls and polyethylene floor sheet. There's a lot of polys in that tent. Now Jim is driving, so out y'all. Drive safe, as I said before. Mark says, maybe I'll look for a gently used one. Yeah, that's definitely a more affordable way to do it. For sure. Shawnee wanted to set up a permanent hot tent, but that's like $1,000 or more. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Look, once you get into winter camping, you're getting into serious money, because A, your tent, B, your sleeping bag, right? You need a winter sleeping bag, and you can easily drop $1,000 just on that. Mike Morton got himself a new winter sleeping bag last year, and it was like $1,000, Canadian. Excuse me. Yeah, Mark says, I think it's separate so you can buy what you need for your particular stove. And yeah, that makes sense to me. It would make sense that you would buy that at the time you're buying your stove because not all stoves are the same size and you may want a bigger stove or a smaller stove. But I'm really going on theory here. Shawnee's tent setup is 14 feet by 10 feet by 6 points, essentially 6.5 feet high. I know what 10 feet is because my tarp is 10 by 10. It's a good size. That would not be 10 comfortable people, but it's still a good size. I need to fit 5 in it or 4, yeah. That sounds like it would be sort of your limit of people getting in there and sleeping comfortably. Hold on. I think I just okay. Hey, Chris is here. Peanut Trucker. I'm late. What does it say? I'm late, but parked and cooking my supper. Hey, y'all. Hey there, Chris. Nice to see you. So, I bought this recently. The reason I bought it was because it showed up in a whiskey video because there's a bottle that I cannot afford by the Compass Box called Velicor. And it's named after an entry in this book. Now, the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows is what I call a dictionary of words that should exist. The author says that the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows defines new words for emotions that we all feel but don't have the language to express. So all the definitions in here and the words that they define are kind of fake. But hilariously, when the book arrived, I randomly opened it up to Funkensvangsvorstellung. Noun, the primal trance of watching a campfire in the dark. From the German Funken, which is spark, plus Zwangsvorstellung, obsession, pronounced Funkensvangsvorstellung. Come on, fool. I'm going to need you to focus. There we go. So I thought that because, I opened it up randomly and that was the first page. I was like, okay, this book is definitely made for me. And now I'm looking for, I'm trying to just randomly open it to the same thing again, but I'm not finding it. The other, the second thing I opened it up to was Ostis, which is the feeling that fall is around the corner. I'm just looking for it. I'm trying to find it the way I just randomly arrived at it, but it's not working now. Felicia. Noun, the disquieting awareness that someone's importance to you and your importance to them may not necessarily match, that your best friend might only think of you as a buddy, that someone you barely know might consider you a mentor, that someone you love unconditionally might have one or two conditions. I mean, that's not what I'm looking for, but, anyway, it's just an enchant. Oh, there it is, Ostis. The wistful omen of the first sign of autumn, a subtle coolness in the shadows, a rustling of dead leaves abandoned on the sidewalk, or a long skein of geese sweeping over your head like the second hand of a clock. That was the second page I just randomly opened it to. So I was like, okay, book, you and I were friends. But I just thought, I'm someone who adores words, right? I love words. And I kind of wish I'd written this because it's the kind of wordplay that I adore, right? You just take two words and jam them together to sort of catch a feeling that there isn't really a word for yet. And stop yawning. Hanker sore. Adjective. Finding a person so attractive it actually kind of pisses you off. Oh, it's on this page. Hanker sore. I get real joy out of stuff like that. Anyways, I just thought some of you guys might find that interesting or fun as well. I love stuff like that. Let me just sort of pop back to okay, I thought the side chat had restarted on me again, but no, it did not. Destiny is jubilant over the fact that Chris is here. I am also jubilant that Chris is here. Chris, what are you making for supper? What's the supper situation? David Evans has sent a picture of the first fire in his new stove. Oh man, I do love that. Look at how warm and comfortable that picture actually looks. Nice looking stove too. I like it. Also, how obvious is it that I need to wash my phone off? You know. Oh my land. I got lost. Oh, Destiny's asking the same thing I asked. What's cooking for supper, Peanut Trucker? That's a near rhyme. Tater tots and pork chops. I do not know what a tater tot is, but I'm imagining, just going by that name, they're like little. Are they like tiny hash browns? Is that what a tater tot is? I guess Destiny knows what they are since she's approving of his supper choices. I had no time to make supper tonight, so I just ordered pizza. Popular choice with the kids. Shawnee has this problem where she keeps buying new books and not having the time to read the ones you have. I look, a lot of people have the same problem. I also have the same problem. I have more books than I have read, but I've gotten the ratio down quite a bit. You know. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm gonna go for as long as I can tonight here, people. But I do have to make up for having had 2 hours of sleep last night. No, I just popped that on screen again. Hold on. Yes, people are liking the picture of David's fire. I do as well. Destiny is asking if the side chat is that small on Russell's Books Fests. I don't know. It looks about the same to me, but I'm unsure. I'm unsure. I can make it a bit bigger. I like having it there because in the side chat, you guys logos for like channel member and or channel hero mod show up. So like I don't have to be looking over there to the YouTube page to see everyone's icons when something interesting scrolls up on screen. Russell says his is much bigger. We're talking about the side chat, but yeah, I can make it bigger. Again. Shawnee, I'm pretty sure there are tater tots in Canada. Doesn't mean I've ever had them before though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are tater tots in Canada. If they are what I think they are, then I'm sure we can get them somewhere. Shawnee says ordered pizza is a win. I think so too. Definitely is simpler. I have no idea, Christy, about tater tots. Yeah, I feel like it's the kind of thing that I feel like it's the kind of thing I've seen mentioned in like a comic somewhere or something. Sales is currently eating steak, peppers with seasoned naan bread. I like it. Shame on you, though, Sales. Bell pepper is not a very Canadian term. Sounds delicious. Yes, it does. Absolutely. Beef steaks or like game, Serge? David says we have tater toots in Canada. I gotta go out on a limb and say that that's a typo. Um, David says I meant tater tots. Yeah, I figured so. Peanut Trucker is asking if I'm so sheltered. I don't know what tater tots are. I've never even I've never seen them. Um, Country Boy says tater toots from too many tater tots. Yeah, Russell says that Canada has tater tots as well. So I'm imagining that they're widely available. Chris has sent a picture of tater tots. I'm taking a look. Okay. So they are kind of like a tiny hash brown. Hold on. Let me lower the volume, not the volume, but the light on my phone. Nice air fryer action. It looks to me like you got a Ninja air fryer, just judging by the plastic around the rim. Oh, hey, there's Curmudgeon Alaska popping in. How's it going? How's the weather out there tonight? Are you guys starting to get cold? We're getting cold here, but not Alaska cold. That's for sure. It's gonna like hit the 20s again this week, though. Apparently, Mike Ox is asking, "What is BB&B?" BB&B is Bevies, Blades, and Bushcraft. Used to be Beer, Blades, and Bushcraft, but I stopped having the beer because I gooshed beer all over my whatever keyboard many times. So I drink tea until 10 o'clock, and then I have a small dram of whiskey. Oh, it's after 10. What the hell, people? How come no one had told me? Oh no, Russell forgot to buy hash browns. Curmudgeon says days doing good. Days are in the high 40s, nights are in the high 20s. Now those are degrees freedom, right? What whiskey am I having? Oh, I'm not prepared. I didn't bring one. Oh, I left one on the stairs. I'm just seeing if I've got one sitting around me here. Give me a second. Totally well prepared here, eh? So yeah, those are temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit. So you're hovering around freezing, little above, little below. Fall in the north must be gorgeous. Must be gorgeous. Wolfburn, aged 10 years. This is their first age statement because Wolfburn is a fairly new distillery in Scotland. I often say with these newer distilleries that it's when they bring out a 10-year that you get a good idea of what they're really all about. Because 10-year is like your your baseline age statement, you know? And it's good. It is pretty good. I kind of get the feeling that Wolfburn isn't really sure what its character is going to be yet, though. Jim's heard of tater tots being called potato puffs. Interesting. A Walmart air fryer. I probably made in the same factory, though, right? Susie Q is asking where I order. Hi, Susie, by the way, is asking where I order the pizza from. I order from a nearby place called Welat. Sometimes I'll order from like Domino's or from Pizza Pizza, but Welat, it's not a chain. It's like a one-off or a two-off. But we kind of prefer their pizza. Yeah, Country Boy says it's after 10. Thank you for, keeping us on the straight and narrow. Russell says that hash browns are an essential part of a breakfast bowl. I don't have time for breakfast in the morning, but every night. Yes, Mark, thank you. Christy, you didn't warn Jess that it was time for a bevy. It's Christy, and I think Shawnee are usually on me about, hey. Oh, I see. You thought I was too tired for the whiskey. That was probably the thing I should have done, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. This nose isn't completely it's not super complex. There's not a whole lot of character happening. The usual Scotch notes of butterscotch, vanilla from the American oak. Big oak, though. Like really big oak spice. Pepper. I'm looking for the green apple or pear notes that hit from so many scotches that aren't finished in or like peated or whatever. A touch of brown sugar and a little hit of espresso at the back of the tongue. Quite nice. Serge says it's weird because the side chat over here is not working right. I'm not going to warn Jess it's past 10 for another 7 minutes because he was 15 minutes late. Oh. Cubico. Noun, a state of exhaustion inspired by senseless tragedies and acts of violence which force you to abruptly revise your expectations of what can happen in this world, trying to prop yourself up like an old scarecrow who's bursting at the seams, yet powerless to do anything but stand there and watch. And then the explanatory note. In Japanese mythology, Kubiko is the name of a kami deity, a scarecrow who stands all day watching the world go by, which has made him very wise but locked in place. Pronounced Kuwebiko. Like, just opening to random pages in this book is a lot of fun. I only got the book like yesterday or the day before. So far, I'm quite happy with it. David says, now do that whiskey review again using a sippy cup. It'll be a new set of tastes, especially like a plastic sippy cup. Like, tasty, tasty plastic. Christy's reminding us to end the poll. To end the poll. So should I remove the chat scroll from the video screen? 59% people said yes. So I don't know. Okay, I'll take it off for next week. and we'll see if it makes it'll make things harder for me, because then I won't see the icons, because they're not in the side chat in the app, right? So I have to keep sort of staring over at the YouTube page. Look, it's not a bad whiskey, but it ain't nearly as good as the price would have suggested when I bought this. I just have to not forget to turn off the scrolling chat before next week. There we go. Am I at the end of the chitty chat? Yes, I am. So we're at 10 past 10. Just making sure that we're. Hold on. Destiny says, extra reading. The boreal forest rests firmly in our collective psyche, heralding us back to a time of living freely in fresh air and warming ourselves with wood-generated fires. In fact, and I believe there's probably going to be another thing popping up. No, that's Christy saying leave it on if it helps you. Well, look, we'll see how it goes next week. I mean, if the poll went 59% yes, then we'll live by that for at least the next week and see how it goes. It's just, you guys may see me going like this. But yeah, I like Destiny's. Where'd you get that from, Destiny? Destiny says, I think this is the rest of that quote. I'm just waiting for it to show up in the side chat over here. In fact, the ancient Celts referenced healing as a return to the trees. Excerpt from 50 Shades of the Boreal. What the hell is 50 Shades of the Boreal? Oh, you're just making this up? So 50 Shades of the Boreal isn't a real thing? Why you gotta be tricking me? David says, I think we should do a poll about we doing the poll. I don't know what he's talking about, but I kind of regret putting that on screen. I don't know what I'm missing, but it's probably something bad. South says, oops, Jess, you should look up a friend at hand whiskey bar in Ireland. You'll want to go if you're not already aware. I've never heard of the place. The whiskey bar, I mean, I've heard of Ireland. But I'll look it up. There's a whiskey bar here in Montreal that I've never been to. It's called L'Île Noire, named after the Tintin book, where he goes to an island in Scotland. So referencing Scotch whiskey and, of course, Tintin. So referencing French culture as well. I'm going to drink some water. Destiny says, actually, the part of the Celts and a return to the trees, to my trees, is true. Interesting that it's my trees. I'll look that up. I'll definitely look that up. I'm getting a bedtime reminder for my watch. It's not bedtime, it's Tuesday night. Watch. Man, there's 23 people kicking back with us. That's cool. That's nice. I like it. And I'm actually caught up in the side chat, which is kind of weirding me out. It tells me that you people are not bugging each other very much tonight. Well, what's up with you people? Aren't you friendly? Aren't you like all social? All that stuff? David says, only 17 likes and 23 people are watching. Come on, or the hammer will fall. There it is. Just finally shut up. Maybe people are like, man, what's with Jesse tonight? He's so boring. This desk is a nightmare because my 5-year-old was sitting here earlier tonight, and I bought her some stickers, and so she's I was sort of just quickly trying to clean up a little bit before coming on. But yeah, I worked so hard to clean this desk. For me, cleaning my desk is it's exhausting mentally. You know, it's a big thing for me. It's like, okay, I got to get the desk cleaned. There we go. I kind of like, I would love to have the kind of time where on a random night, you know, I could do like just a members only stream or something of like doing a puzzle, you know, just like quietly doing a puzzle. Oh, there's another bottle of whiskey behind this puzzle. It's the Yukon whiskey, or you know, just sharpening knives or something. And like, I wish I had time to just do random things like that. Chris says, "Sorry, I'm eating and listening. That's okay. I mean, hey, it is supper time." David's asking you to chew a little quieter, though, Chris. So can you work on that, please? Just you know. Right. So you know, keep it down over there, all the way in California. You are in California, I think. I saw, right? I do believe that's where I thought I saw you following in from. Anyone got any suggestions of good books to do readings from, by the way? Chris is very sorry about his chewing. So, I mean, I'm glad that everyone's being nice to each other about this chewing thing. I catch hell for chewing all the time. Like, it's to the point where I try to eat as quietly as I can all the time. God help me if I make a noise. Okay, stickers cleaned up. See? It's not that hard, Jess. Oh, you're in Arizona. Eloy, Arizona. Eloy. That's a science fiction sounding name. What story were the Eloy from? There was the Eloy and the... What story is that from? The Eloy is spelt differently, though. The Eloy are one of the two fictional post-human races, along with the Morlocks, right, in H.G. Wells' 1895 novel, The Time Machine. Yes, that's it. Chris is on his way to Houston, Texas. Houston, right? It's the street in New York that's pronounced Houston. Am I correct? Yeah, I'm correct. I'm totally correct. You guys are going to go with me on that. Eloy, Arizona to Houston, Texas. Destiny just got the book. See, the scroll went by too fast. Hold on. Oh, no. Okay. Destiny just got the book Life on Svalbard by Cecilia Blomdahl. Great excerpts about snowmobiling in extreme conditions via GPS to remote off-grid cabins. Svalbard's interesting because it's an international zone, right? So, like, it's part of Norway. It was given to Norway by the UN, but with certain quid pro quos. And one is that, like, it's essentially an international zone, which is why there are like there's like a Russian city there that the Norwegians can't just kick out because the place is legally international. Now, this is getting awkward considering what's going on with Russia and NATO right now. But yeah, Svalbard's really, really interesting. And the thing is, it's valuable real estate. David says, eating cheese is not very noisy. Now, cutting the cheese is a different story, of course. Of course we'd go there. Grace says that Houston, Georgia is also pronounced Houston. Interesting. I read why Texas is Houston and in New York City it's Houston. And it's because it's named after two different... They're not named after the same guy. So it's not necessarily just a regional thing. It's actually one is named after someone whose name was Houston, and the other is named after Houston. Pyramiden is the Russian place. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah. So it's interesting, right? This will probably change. Like if things get worse between NATO and Russia, then something is going to have to give up there for sure. Shawnee says there's something interesting. Permaculture and bushcraft, there's an overlap there. Yes, I think there is to a certain extent. What's making you think of that? Yes, David. Svalbard is Norwegian, but as an international zone, there are Russian cities there. It's not part of Russia, but Peanut Trucker says Sam Houston, I guess, because you're talking about the Dallas, the Texas, the Dallas. Shut up, Jesse. Oh, Shawnee's using the AI. Typed into ChatGPT current camping and bushcraft topics, and that was one of them. Interesting. You know what? Should we take a note to maybe discuss permaculture in an upcoming episode of the live stream? He said, looking for a pen. Tabernouche. Now, do I have any paper that wasn't drawn on by a 5-year-old? Hey Siri, take a note for me to look up permaculture for an upcoming live stream. Look up permaculture. There you go. Okay. Yes, Sam Houston is Texas. You said right. Shawnee says, I don't know if this crowd is into permaculture stuff, but then Destiny pops in with, yes, let us discuss permaculture, please. So, okay. And then Peanut Trucker says, yes, Sam Houston is Texas. You said it right. Oh, I said it right. Whenever I do something right, it makes me feel just slightly jubilant. You know what I'm saying? Shawnee's asking if I saw Starship Flight Test 5. Nope. Is that the one where they caught the booster with the chopsticks kind of thing? Wait, is Starship the SpaceX one? Or is that the Boeing? No, I think Starship is the... Is the comet viewable where you are? There's a full moon this week. Hunter's Moon. Man, I'm sitting on the rain. Nothing is visible where I live right now. Which is par for the course in Montreal. It's like anytime there's something interesting, there's some interesting stellar event, we miss it because we get clouded out. Which was why I was utterly jubilant when we weren't clouded out from the eclipse that happened recently. Raspberry Rock is asking, what games am I playing right now? I am currently chewing my way through Cyberpunk 2077, which I'm enjoying massively. I bought it when it came out because CD Projekt Red is it's a game developer that I support. They were the ones who did the Witcher series, and I kind of think that Witcher 3 knocked Mass Effect 2 off the pedestal as my all-time favorite game. The Witcher 3 is an utter powerhouse of a game. Just not one false note throughout the entire game. Spectacular. And so I bought Cyberpunk like right off the bat, and I got immediately furious and ignored it until I recently started playing it in because everyone was saying update 2.0 and blah blah blah. It's so much better now. They fixed all the problems, and yeah, great game. Loving it. I mean, when I have time to game, right? I'm not sure why you're asking that, but it's the kind of question that I'll just and I don't want to bore everyone, but yeah. I have a couple of other things in the queue, and I went against a personal policy of mine, and I pre-ordered something. I pre-ordered the next Dragon Age game. I don't pre-order. I don't think any game developer deserves the advance numbers. But that developer, they're constantly sort of in danger of being closed because they're owned by a publisher that just likes closing studios if anything at all goes wrong. And since the studio happens to be Canadian, I would feel better if it didn't close. So, hold on. They caught the booster with chopsticks. Yes, yeah. So that's the one. Yeah, I saw them catching that for sure. Russell says that AI pics and videos are crazy right now. Yeah, they are. They really are. And I would be lying if I said how good AI is getting doesn't leave me feeling just a little worried. So it says a lot. Same with gardening. A lot of AI pictures. Really? Peanut Trucker and I definitely disagree on Elon Musk. But here's the thing: he doesn't do the science, right? So it's like I still think that SpaceX is doing interesting stuff. I hate the fact that he's making bank off it, but the company seems to be doing interesting stuff. So, and whatever eventually brings the price of spacefaring down is good. It's very, very good. Destiny is asking, serious question, why are so many mosquitoes and deer flies and whatnot in the deep woods? Like no bats, ecological imbalance? What the heck? I don't know. I have noticed very few mosquitoes this year, but not necessarily in the woods. I've in the woods, I feel that, you know what, even when I took the kids camping at the end of July, there were way less bugs than I was used to, even at that time of year, you know? So I don't know, like something's unbalanced for sure, but like I don't know. I think, you know, it might also be very localized. Like it might not be the same where I am than where you are. I love this comment from Sash. It's like Instagram models. These AI cabins are creating unrealistic expectations. But you know, there's still the uncanny, sort of a variant of the uncanny valley with AI pics. Like you can still kind of tell that okay, that's not real. There's something in the shadowing or the light play and stuff, or the hands. But even with cabins, you can tell a lot of the time that that it's okay. That's not quite real, but it's getting better and better and better. And I fear the time when it is completely indistinguishable from the real thing, because that's going to change a lot of stuff for a lot of content, a lot of people who are on the side of creating content. And I've said before, and I say again, look, what AI should be replacing is like film execs, right? These guys whose entire job it is to run the numbers and see this film, and this film made bank. This one did not. So let's copy one of these three. That's the kind of thing that AI is ideally suited to, because you're just running numbers using algorithms, right? And deciding what the numbers say will be the next successful movie, rather than bringing a sense of artistic merit to a film project, you know. And like living in that world where that's what decides what gets made, that's why we have like remakes and sequels and prequels, and there's no room for like a film like The Shining, right? Which was a think piece. Yes, it was a horror movie, but it was a think piece. It wasn't jump scares. It wasn't gore. And in fact, if you see it on the surface level, okay, it's kind of a cerebral horror movie. But Kubrick was using that film to complain about the studio system, right? I mean, but there's a whole layer of filmmaking, like the crust, the creme de la creme of filmmaking, just isn't being made anymore. Like not with serious money that gets films in front of people's faces. That's where AI would shine, because it's not about artistic merit. It's just about running the numbers. Batman something did really well. Crank out another Batman. Spider-Man something did really well. Marvel blah 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 blah. You know. Yes, Chris, we heard from Hike with Mike. He was here earlier. I don't know if he still is, but he survived, which I was very happy to hear. David misses playing Left 4 Dead and shooting Justin Russell in the back. Oh, those were the days, the halcyon days. At what time was that at? You got a commercial at 10:26. So that's 4 minutes ago. I didn't notice a commercial, but like, it's weird how it doesn't, you don't have 100% chance of getting an advert, you know? Oh, my snap, look who's here. Okay, like 6 or 7 minutes ago. How are you doing tonight? How are things up in the north? What's the temperature like up there? Are you freezing out yet? Are you set up for winter? You got the tent up and everything? Okay, everyone's saying hi to Dave. Well, everyone's saying, hey, oh, Shawnee's asking an interesting question. Any gear had it for this year? Dave says Tesla stock down 9% since Elon's 10/10 event last week. Yeah, I saw that. It's important to say that my loathing of Elon Musk has nothing to do with who he's backing. I think that over-privileged tech bros need to get spanked. All of them do, because at this point, all of the big name tech bros are doing seriously weird stuff with our data. They're subtly changing the ownership of your information, because your information is on their their systems, and they're making bank off of stuff that sometimes they shouldn't be doing. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I loathe Elon Musk, and I want to see him go bankrupt. I think he's got a lot to pay for, partly because he thinks he's above the law. Like, a lot of what he's done with SpaceX was stuff he didn't have permission to do, like launches and stuff. And the authorities said you didn't have a permit for that launch, and he's like, "What you gonna do? It's already done." And I think that the more people like that get away with it, the more lawless the industry will become. And I guess astronomers already have a problem with his satellites, because he just throws them up there, and they're like, please, stop, just slow down a bit, Serge is answering Destiny's question. Some places have been drier and other places have been wetter, causing bug populations to fluctuate. Maybe that's why I didn't see so many bugs. I saw nowhere near the number of mosquitoes or black flies I was expecting to see when we were camping. Oh, Dave, Merino's the magic, isn't it? Isn't Merino the magic? It's like, this is wool, but I'm not itchy, and it's temperature controlling, and I feel fabulous, but my wallet is so much lighter now. But yeah, I love Merino, absolutely. Russell says there are travel channels now that focus on there are YouTube channels that focus on travel videos, stock footage with AI script, AI voice, AI thumbnail, millions of views. Yeah, I know. And YouTube is trying to get a handle on that by that they have to be flagged and everything, but there aren't people watching to make sure everyone's playing by the rules anymore. I saw a video earlier today or yesterday or something about how Jagmeet Singh had to come on screen and say, "Hey, I'm not dead," because uh, and like there's another video saying the same thing about Pierre Polyev, and it's AI generated videos that are about selling you Bitcoin that use these really, frankly, illegal lead-ins, right? Politician is dead. You click on it, and it just ends up it's a Bitcoin ad. But because the advertising is going through brokerages now, and there aren't actually any people in the pipeline making sure that everyone's playing fair. These adverts are they're going through and they're showing up on like BBC, CBC, New York Times. They're in the side on your YouTube, your For You page or whatever the YouTube thing is called, and these ads are just popping up and popping up and popping up. And like some of these outlets are like ripping them down when they see them, but there are no people vetting this stuff anymore. So some frankly questionable stuff is just showing up in what used to be fairly trustworthy sources. And it's because they've outsourced the advertising process from their side as well, right? So say CBC or BBC. I'm pulling companies out of the ether here. I'm not I'm not saying fact is BBC doesn't control their own ad income. I'm saying that more and more companies have outsourced that to advertising brokerages or services, which collect advertising and then parcel it out and put it up. And there aren't enough people working to vet stuff. It's the same as people putting questionable stuff up on YouTube. YouTube does not have enough people on staff to vet everything going up. So it's becoming more and more like the Wild West, and I mean, who the hell knows where that stops? Yeah, and Russell's like this AI created travel video, and people are saying, "Oh yeah, this takes me back." And it's like, you're a fool. How's this taking you back? And it's still pretty easy to see the AI stuff. It's like I was saying about video footage and images. How if you look at the hands, 9 times out of 10, it's like, oh, really? But the AI is getting better. And a single person is a critical viewer or a critical thinker. Masses of people are not critical viewers or critical thinkers. Masses of people are easy to sell to. If you're talking about selling to masses of people, you can sell, an ice machine to someone who lives above the Arctic Circle. Like if you're selling to a community rather than a single person. It's and again, I'm just pulling examples out of the ether here. Jim is worried that AI will replace your paintings, and yeah, and there's a whole lot of legal stuff happening with AI, right? Like there's a lot of artists who are getting legal over the fact that they're not being paid royalties for these AI companies training their tech on their paintings. So if I was to say unto Copilot or whatever, make me a painting of a totem pole in the Emily Carr style, and it's like, whoop, and that looks like something Emily Carr would have painted. Well, her estate didn't get paid royalties on the AI being trained to ape her style and maybe make money off of painting in her style. It's It's crazy making. If you are in any way a content creator, the world sucks right now. Yeah, Shawnee agrees with me. Merino is amazing. It really is. I find that my merino socks sort of wore through kind of quickly, though. I don't know. Did you find the same thing, Dave? Uh, it's not political. I'm not. I'm not talking about political. I mean, because well, it depends. If you see it as a left-right thing, then I guess it could be political. But I mean, this shit affects everyone. Oop, this shift affects everyone. You know. Um, Dave says temperatures drop and stay below zero at the end of the week. Should be a quick freeze up this year. That would be, well, I mean, that would be good, right? Because you want it to be cold and snowy out so that you've got snow packed around the tent as an insulator, right? And so that you're not trekking through slush to get to the tent and back. Seth says, I bought an Ioniq 5 partly because I didn't want a Tesla because of Elon. Yeah, if I ever have electric car money, it's not going to Tesla for a couple of reasons. A, because Elon needs to eat a bag of dicks, but also the Teslas look like 10-year-old cars now. Like they haven't kept up the styles. Like the Polestar, what's it called? Polestar, yeah, way cooler looking. Those Lucid Airs, I mean, those are money though, but way cooler looking. Rivians are amazing looking. Those are the trucks, the pickup and the SUV. They look amazing. Look fabulous. Again, I don't have electric car money, but there are so many choices now, and the Teslas look like a car that is still being designed in a world where you don't have options. You know, David is asking if Dave has collaborated with Jay Leger. I know he knows Jay, or knows of him at least. Oh, Peanut Trucker's wife, Jennifer. Hey there, Jennifer. How are you doing? On the side chat, it just showed Peanut Trucker, so I was like, oh no, has it gone back to? Has it started the loop again? Russell says Facebook is the worst for that. No oversight on ads. It's horrible. It's awful. It's the kind of thing that it's like, where? How do you save us from that? Like, how do you pull back from that? You know. Yeah, Shawnee is like, I hope so for you. Yeah, it's really best when you've got the snow, and I find that even okay. So my favorite time of the year is fall, and I'm sure up north, fall is gorgeous. But it's the part of fall, sort of September moving into October, when the leaves are on fire, um, like everywhere. An aspen forest is that beautiful yellow light, right? Um, but once that stage is passed and everything goes, it's gray and depressing, and it starts to sort of get. I mean, it doesn't really get muddy, but like you go down below freezing at night, and then it comes back up, and the earth starts to squelch a little bit, and everything's gray and depressing and ugly. And that's when I just want it. I just want a huge blanket of snow, like now, please, please, please get me from the beautiful colored leaves to the snow now. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure it's got to be the same for you and for anyone who's like, okay, man, I'm setting up my hot tent. Yeah, you just want the frozen ground. Easy to to get into your snowshoes, off to the tent. Because I imagine that a hot tent might be a real drag if you're just hovering around zero or just a little bit above, right? Because you're not. It's too warm to put on the stove, but it's kind of too cold to not have the stove on. Like, does that make sense to you at all, Dave? Is that your experience, or am I? Because for me, it's all theory, right? It's theory about what I like when sort of going to the hunt camp kind of thing back in the day. And I'm extrapolating out a little bit when instead of a ramshackle little plywood shack, it's an actual tent. Dave says, Jay and I get together every couple of weeks for lunch. He's a great guy. We've done several trips together. Yeah, a couple of viewers have suggested I try to get him on for an interview, but I'm imagining that he's got the same thing going on as you do, Dave, where it's like there's a bandwidth issue, maybe not enough bandwidth to be on camera kind of thing. Because I remember we sort of briefly talked last year or the year before, and for you, bandwidth can be a real issue. Uh-oh. It's cycling again. Because this showed up like an hour ago. Oh no, it's cycled again. Let me just scroll all the way to the bottom to catch up. It pisses me off when it does this. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So David said, I don't know why it does that cycle thing. David says, glad to hear. I just started watching his videos. He's an amazing videographer. You just started watching his videos, David? I don't watch all of them just because I don't have time to watch all of anyone's right now. But yeah, it's good stuff. Chris says our high over the next 2 days is only 70 degrees. So that's in the 20s, I guess, in degrees Canadian. Lows in the 40s. Cold for you. Well, lows in the 40s. That's almost freezing. Yeah. He needs that lake to freeze to get to the island. Right. Oh, Serge is off. Okay. Good night, Serge. Speak to you later. Okay, everyone's saying good night to Serge. Dave says, merino wool socks are not as durable as they used to be. I use Icebreaker and Smart Wool, and they both wear out fast. Yeah, I had Icebreakers, and nope. So I think, whereas I love the temperature control aspect of merino wool, they're too expensive for me to buy the socks and just wear through them. For me, wool socks have to be sort of the old school wool socks. Because after a while, you don't get as itchy, right? After a while, you just sort of get used to them. Yeah. Gray says, how about alpaca wool? I have a pair of socks. Very nice. Are they scratchy? Dave agrees that Jay Leger is quite talented. Yeah, absolutely. Destiny says, okay, off topic, but I still love that Jean-Claude Van Damme Volvo semi-truck commercial. Oh, yeah, where he does the splits. Yeah. Why are we talking about that? But yeah, I remember that video. Shawnee says to Grace, someone here sells alpaca wool. So you say they're worth a buy. Are they expensive? Oops. Grace, they work well for Grace, but she's not in the extreme cold like up north of 60. Yeah, the thing is, I think if you're way up north, like if I lived up there, maybe I would just buy the merinos and make it a yearly purchase. Like technically your shoes are supposed to be a yearly purchase, right? My doc told me, because I've got plantar fasciitis because I'm old. But I was told that I should be replacing my shoes every year, making sure I'm getting good support and replacing them every year. So if you're supposed to be replacing like shoes, and shoes always cost over $100 now, then maybe you have to sort of, or maybe it's not unreasonable when you're hiking through snow and over ice. Maybe it's not unreasonable to see merino wool socks as just a consumable. You buy your socks for the season, and then if they're still not wrecked at the end of the season, then yay, win, and you can keep them. Like you'd still have to buy new socks for the next season, but you can keep these guys as a, like your nighttime socks, right? like how you should always change your socks when you're done with the marching around the woods and everything in the day, and you've got your fire set up, and you're bedding down. You're not putting your boots back on. You change your socks. Excuse me. Hang up the socks you've been working with to dry out, and you put on a dry pair for bedtime. Like maybe you can keep them for that. I don't know. I'm sort of theorizing because you probably need, because one thing I can tell you for sure, and it's my experience when hunting, is if your feet get cold, your hunt is over. Right? If your feet get cold, you're kicking back. You're making a fire and you're sitting down. Right? So it behooves you to have socks that keep your feet nice and warm, that keep your feet fairly dry. Your feet are going to sweat when you're out there for sure. Um, I sort of fell down a rabbit hole here about the merino wool socks, but I, right, what I was originally saying, what my point was, is that maybe, yes, it sucks that merino wool doesn't last the way it used to, but maybe because of the performance, you just see it as a consumable that you buy every season. That was the point I was trying to make, and then I started. Oof. Hold on. Destiny, are you just wondering if Ray could do the splits for you? Why did I even put that up on screen? Grace says alpaca isn't scratchy at all. Okay, so it's a soft one. Jim says my PT sister says 6 months on shoes replacement. PT, is that like a physical training? Oh, physical therapist. Yeah, that's the American term for a physiotherapist. Right. Okay. So 6 months. Yeah, I guess that makes sense too. Maybe it also depends on how much you use your shoes. But yeah, like if you're making your shoes last 5 years, you are not doing your feet a service. I feel like I just sort of translated something in my head and it came out wrong. But yeah. Destiny is always impressed by Peanut Trucker's videos. He drives so smoothly while the idiots drive so erratically around or in front of him. I'd be slamming on the brakes, swearing and crying. Yeah, especially when you think that he can't stop nearly as fast as somebody in like a Forerunner or a, whatever, Ford Fiesta can. David Evans just subscribed to Up North of 60. Looking forward to watching your videos. Yeah, you're going to love them. Yeah, okay. Jim says, Dave says, sorry. -10 is when you fire up the stove. Anything warmer is too uncomfortable. Yeah, that makes sense to me. For sure. Jim has 4 pair of merino wool socks. You wear them every day. Interesting. So yours are obviously lasting you longer than mine ever did. Russell is asking the obvious question, which I was going to ignore. I don't think he wears all 4 of them every day, Russell. I mean, Jim can answer for himself, but I'm just going out on a limb here. Man, I don't believe it's already almost 11. Coming online late does that, eh? So, can't believe how fast time is going. Oh, right. I'm not streaming for as long. I was going to look for another definition, but we'll leave it. Maybe I'll come up with one definition per live stream or something. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some more Up North of 60 content this year for sure. Hey, how was your warm season, Dave? I'm trying to remember if you were going to do the van life thing this year or if you'd sold the van. I think you sold a van, but I feel like we haven't spoken in a minute, so I'm not sure. So I'm not sure like what I'm remembering correctly and what I'm not. Russell, when am I building my next fire? I don't know, but I have like the stuff to make s'mores. So I'm thinking of, we need to do at least a backyard fire sometime soon so that the girls can have s'mores. um, like it's up at the lake. We can't always have a fire because if it's too windy, we're not allowed to have a fire because there's too much of a fire hazard stuff. Um, but sometimes we just do a little fire in the backyard. You know, keep up Camille's fire building skills, just in a little hobo stove, and do some. Up, Destiny got an ad. I don't have an advert. Who's got an ad? Well, granted, if you guys have an ad right now, you can't hear me asking that question. But Shawnee says, "Oh, s'mores." So I guess not everyone got the ad. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to build something pretty soon. Right now, we're getting rained on. Like it's actively raining on me right now. David, no, Russell says to David, "I wish we were neighbors so I could just wander over and bug you." I love it. Dave says the best in my opinion. Grace says my tablet got an ad. My phone didn't. David Evans says no more ads. Dad jokes. A little dad'll do ya. Jim says, "Good night, all. I need to go wash my socks." Even though we're only online for another 3 minutes. It's okay. Good night, Dave. Good night, Jim. Have a good night, and I will hopefully see you next week. Russell says, "Okay, nicest thing anyone has ever said to me." Oh yeah, I see it because David said that would be okay. Hilarious. I can't wait to be in bed tonight, you people. Like I'll be straight with you. I am deeply looking forward to getting under the covers. I really want to hit the woods in the cold weather, just for that feeling of bedding down next to the fire or the stove. Um, I love that. I love that bedding down after a long day of bushwhacking. Warm fire, warm sleeping bag. I miss that. I absolutely do miss that. Yeah. Life is really expensive right now, but as soon as it stops being so expensive, I'm gonna absolutely prioritize getting a winter camping setup. At least like a tent and a stove. Because sleeping bag, if I have like a cot and I have it's not really a winter bag. It's more like a fall bag. It's good down to, it's not a sub-zero bag, but I have like a wool blanket and stuff. And if I can layer, maybe, I don't know. Does it sound like I'm having dangerous thoughts, Dave? Like if I layer, because I'll make a fire, but at a certain point at night, the fire's gone, right? Or it's down to embers, and you kind of have to restoke it. Because it's a grand. It's about $1,000 for a winter bag, like a straight up winter bag. My buddy Mike Morton bought one recently. I just think I said this earlier in the stream, but I'm saying it to you now because you're here now. Like it's easy to say, "Oh, I've got a hot tent, I've got a stove," but then at like 4 in the morning, the stove is burnt down and it's still minus 30 out, kind of thing. Up north of 6. Dave says, "Oh, it's gone. YouTube is glitching for me right now. For me tonight." Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Is it glitching for anyone else? Is anyone else having issues? I mean, I don't know, Dave. Are you using whatever those dishes are called? What the hell's that service called? Russell's using. Um, Shawnee says, "Wait, a winter sleeping bag is how much?" Yeah, they you can hit $1,000 easily, like without even trying. Hold on, let me see if I can find one. Oh my land! Canadian Outdoor Equipment Company. The typing it is very difficult tonight. Shoulder season comforts, Esker tents and stoves. You guys want me to share the screen for this, like the last few minutes? Oh, it's 11:01. Never mind. Forget about it. I'll just take a look for a sleeping bag. Yeah, Exped Winterlight -15 sleeping bag, so that's good down to -15 degrees. I'll just share this one screen and then we're gonna shut her down. Screen. Heads up before you share screen. Shut up. I understand. Let's proceed. So there you go. $1,000 for a winter bag. Right. So this is made for cold weather camping with all the condensation and crap that comes with that. But yeah. So I mean, and by the way, I will not sleep in something that form fitting. Like I can't do. It feels like I'm sleeping in a coffin. Like I need at least a semi square bag or a full on square bag. For sure. For sure. How do I stop sharing now? End my screen share. Okay. Oh, hold on. Look at wait. Um hold on. I'm gonna go through these comments and then we're gonna shut her down. Um David, when I winter camped, I put 2 summer sleeping bags together. It worked. Um Dave says, if you're looking for some tough wool pants, check out Big Bill Merino wool cargo pants. Big Bill. Merino wool cargo pants. Okay. I will look those up. I will absolutely look those up. Jim also said, Mountain Hardware Lamina sleeping bag regular. Down to -29C is, that's good. Okay, hold on. Mountain Hardware Lamina. I love what you just posted because to me, like counting up the startup costs for a winter camping setup were just too daunting. And part of that was just like looking at twice this price for a sleeping bag, right? Under 500. Okay. That's nice to know. That's nice to know. And I mean, if anyone knows, if anyone here knows, you know, right? Destiny says, Bonsoir tout le monde. Until the next live. Jess or live or Russell. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta go to sleep. Nice. So everyone say good night to Russell is asking mathematical questions rather than logical ones. Okay, Shawnee, I'm gonna take note of that. What do you guys think? Maybe for the next one, let's do like a mock winter camping setup purchase, like we did for the 72-hour bags. Does that sound good? That sounds great to me. I like that. All right, it's 11:05. I am yeah. David likes that idea. I like that idea as well. I'm taking notes here. Next episode, mock winter camping buying spree. Russell says, "Good idea, Shawnee. Really good idea. That's so uncharacteristic." You know, Russell, how do you keep friends? Okay. See you guys. I believe next week, and next week we will. Oh, my land, Beto is showing up right as we're shutting her down. Yes, Russell, you are a brat. So I'm hoping that our next one will be next week, as always. So with that being the concept, goodbye until next week. As I always say, everybody, please be healthy, be safe, be sane, and be kind to one another. Good night, all.